Next on my list is Mr. Carver.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just get away from the politics of three technical questions, if possible. At what stage are the considerations for the participation of third countries in PESCO? Can you elaborate on that? What level of cooperation is anticipated in financial contributions, political direction and contributions from any third parties that choose to participate in PESCO? And finally, what input has NATO had in the process, and what active measures, and clear active measures are being taken to ensure that there is no duplication or undermining of NATO? Thank you.
Let me come to the issue of NATO, and this has been now in the public debate for some time. And I think here I have to point out three very clear issues. First, we should stop fake news. No fake news. We are not talking about the European army. Secondly, there is no competition between EU and NATO. When I read what was in the NATO strategic concept of 91 and again in 2010, there is clearly a call for Europeans to take in their hands a greater responsibility for their own security. And even more, the NATO strategic concept of 2010 makes a specific welcome of the Lisbon Treaty. And Lisbon Treaty is PESCO. So I don't see where this debate comes from. And then the other issue which, Jan, you were referring to, it is that we do, and which I've heard, PESCO should not duplicate what we are doing in NATO or divert from there. And there I have to see what I've ended up my intervention with. We will ensure that that does not happen if we make sure with the capability development plan that we have a coherent approach with NATO defense planning process. It is what we have to do in both frames has to be coherent because we only have one set of forces. So if we make sure that that is the case, there will be no wrong prioritization as many can allegedly claim. And then as far as third parties, as I stated, now we are in the process of setting up all the institutional implementation procedures. So member states will take a decision on the participation of third parties later in the process. We are not there yet. And as far as NATO, I can assure you that we already have a very transparent dialogue across the board on the initiatives that are related to EU in the framework of the joint declaration EU-NATO.
I think we are working on a CSDP framework, such EU's external action exclusively. If you look at the military capabilities and our Bible is a headline call from 2003. That actually sets the political level of the ambition for us. And against that, we mirror, of course, our military requirements and their shortfall. So it's exclusively external and outside of the EU territory. However, having said that, if you look at the EU global strategy and different layers, the inner layer is a protection of Europe. Protection of Europe is in my view, can be interpreted protection of the EU citizens, of course respecting and acknowledging the role that NATO has in terms of the collective defense, or indeed individual member states like my own country that is not a member of NATO but maintains the credible defense. These are taken into account, and the protection of Europe entails many other, let me say, more soft security issues, countering the terrorism. Hybrid is one of the issues. Cyber and cyber projects are part of the PESCO projects as well. So they are not that concrete and immaterial like the concrete project where we improve our military capabilities, but really there the focus is exclusively external for time being.